Welcome to the first edition of Catskills Freehill Cooking with the Free Healer. Today we're going to make some beef jerky. I'll get hungry on the chairlift or in the backcountry, and this is a great source of protein. It's light, it's easy to transport, it's really easy to make. There's no reason to spend a lot of money on it at the store. You can buy really good meat. Any cut, basically, you want to cut across the grain. You can kind of see here, this is like a round roast or something. The grain's going this way, so you want to cut right across it. And so what I do is you freeze it and then you defrost it, and it'll get to the point where it's defrosted and like still kind of frozen but kind of soft. That's when you want to cut it. I'm going to trim some of the fat off of it here. You can leave the fat on, but there was a big piece there. Okay, so you want to come in a little closer maybe. So if you slice across the bias and get nice, it's really easy to cut. Make sure your knife's nice and sharp, and that's sort of a good size. If you go too thin, it gets a little bit too much like chips, like kind of crunchy, so you want about that much. Okay, and then just slice enough to fit on whatever rack you have. What we're going to do to dry this is, I have a convection oven, like a small, like that thing over there. Convection oven, and all that means is that it blows air while it's being an oven, and that helps dry it. If you don't have a convection oven, I think it's probably doable. Maybe keep the door open on it and keep it at like 150 or 200. You could even probably do it in your oven just with the pilot light if you have an old gas oven. There are different ways to rig it up. If you don't go buy a convection oven, they're really useful, so just get that. Otherwise, like, I think you could probably just dry it by leaving it out. I don't know. This is how I do it. It helps if you have a convection oven. So anyway, I'm slicing a bunch of the meat like this. And they don't have to be like super consistent, you know. You don't even really want them to be the same. Just keep cutting across here. That one's a little small, but that's alright. And as soon as you get enough to fit on your, to fill up your whatever rack you're using, I'll show you the rack I'm going to use. So that's the rack I'm going to use. And then it's going to rest over that. And you can kind of like fill it up. I'll show you how it's done once we do it, but you can kind of overlap them because they're going to shrink a lot when they dry out. Okay, just cut a few more pieces here. And okay, so I'll just show you really quickly. The marinade for this couldn't possibly be simpler. This is good organic soy sauce. Oh, actually even before that. So the soy doesn't really have quite enough salt, so I just throw some sea salt. I might say some. That's about some for that. And some sugar. You could use honey, I think. Kind of equal parts. Just kind of enough to be everywhere on the meat. Kind of nice when it's sweet. And then soy sauce, enough. Sriracha, it's the flavor of the year, I think. And that's it. Just kind of mush it up there together. And that's it. You could let it marinate like this overnight or for a couple days, or you can also just sort of do it right away. So in the next step I'll show you how we lay it out, and then you just put it in your convection oven. dry it out, and you got beef jerky. So here's what it looks like when it's all laid out on the rack, and I'm kind of rushing because we're trying to get up to the mountains, and it's Christmas Day. So that's what it looks like. It's all laid out on its rack, and I'm just going to put it in the convection oven here. And so this thing you set to roast, convection. That just means the fan's on. I'm going to put it on 150. 2 hours is the most it goes. So here it is after like 2.5 hours in the oven. And the light's not that great in here, but you can see it looks pretty much like beef jerky. And we'll just shoot a little food porn here. It's really good. It's excellent. It's beef jerky, so it'll keep, especially in the winter when it's cold. I usually just put it in a brown paper bag and keep it in a cool, dry place and enjoy it. So, cheers.